Hello there everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I am Stephanie and today's reading is messages from your future self. So we're going to be tapping into some future aspect or energy of yourself, and they're going to go ahead and let you know some things that you need to hear right now, or maybe soothe some worries some of you may have, or just let you in on certain things that may go down that you really need to be aware of. But regardless, we have 3 piles here for you today. We have pile 1 with this amethyst point, the chicken nugget card. We have pile 2 with the smoky quartz point and the coffee. And we have pile 3 with this lovely lepidolite palm stone and the taco. So take a few moments, take a few deep breaths, tap into your higher energy, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose this lovely amethyst point, then we have a reading here for you about messages from your future self. Let's go ahead and go with the card you chose, the chicken nugget. And it says number 24 here. So I'm not sure if this is going to be either like a 24-month period from now is what I'm hearing. Maybe 24 weeks. I'm not sure if it's 24 years. I don't know if we're tapping that far into the future. Or maybe the age of 24 could be important to you somehow. But with the chicken nuggets, I always read this card very differently from what the book tells me. I take this as easy to digest or easy to eat. Like something that is very... I don't want to say easy for you, but something that's definitely very palatable. Like it's the chicken nuggets makes me think of a food that everybody likes, or especially children. So you could be dealing with children in the future. But regardless, let's look at the rest of your oracles to see what else is coming through. We have activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. You're going to be living somewhere very different, pile 1. We also have called, soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Yeah, you're definitely going to be doing your soul's purpose at this point in time as well. We also have Scorpio, material endings, a tadpole on the brink of transformation. Something must end for something new to begin. Think of something you have lost in your life. Did you process it fully? What needs to be felt before you can move on? Very Scorpionic energy, but I also feel like you're going to go through a big, I'm hearing revolution within your soul here, where you're really going to change up a lot of stuff within your life, especially your values. Like your core values are going to change for the better. Some of them are going to stay the same, of course, but you're going to start seeing life in a very different way. And for a lot of you, you're going to become a lot more spiritual. And if not that, then your soul's calling is going to be something that has to do with the land, I'm hearing. The land, children, or even like baby animals. Maybe you'll be living on a farm or something to that extent, because when I think of children, it could also be like, you know, actual kids, like baby goats or baby animals in general. You could be raising some sort of animal, or even your own children as well. I think you can do both. But there's a feeling here that you're just, in some cases you might be doing a 180, because when I think of Scorpio, I think of like very opposite energy. Scorpios can be very either or. So it makes me think of a 180. Also because I'm a Taurus, and for me, Scorpios are like the complete opposites. Oddly enough, I love Scorpios. I'm very good friends with a lot of them. Or most of them, anyway. But we have one more card here from the Lover's Oracle, just to get a little tap into your love life. We have imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. The endings that are happening here are... it could be some insecurities, but I'm also seeing you putting an end to the people who put bad thoughts into your head. So I feel like a lot of you are going to dissolve not just all unwanted thoughts, but as well as people and relationships that just were not benefiting you, or that were draining you, or in any weird way just were not contributing to the kind of person you wanted to be. Because I don't think people necessarily have to be bad people in order for you to want to let them go. They could just not align with your values, or maybe they just thought very differently from you. And especially if you're moving somewhere, I feel like this is going to be very easy to do. Like it's going to be very easy to lose touch, or you just won't feel as obligated to respond to them again because they're just not literally physically within your life anymore. So it's easier for you to really let go of the energies and the people that were really holding you back. I feel like this particular way of life that you're coming into in this particular time is very different from what you have envisioned yourself doing. Like I said, you're going to be living on the land. There's something about being in nature that is a little bit more prevalent within this energy. Even if you yourself currently live somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, you could be hermit mode, off the grid. You could be living out in the woods or something. I feel like this is still going to be the case, but it's going to be in a different area. So you could just be transplanting somewhere else. But regardless, there's a feeling here that, and if not somewhere else, then you might be, somebody new will be coming into your life that's going to help with this. It could be a child, like I said, you might be having children. It could also be a partner that isn't always there. I feel like they travel a lot if you don't already have one. Like a partner that is only there like half of the year or for like 3/4 of the year. They're not always there, so you're able to have a lot of alone time and they give you your space. And I feel like this really helps with whatever it is that you're doing. But regardless, something about a big metamorphosis is going on here, because I feel like you thought you knew what you wanted at some point, maybe around the age of 24. But then something calls to you, something within your heart. You may have had a dream about this, like a dream of going to somewhere that looks kind of like this. This kind of reminds me of Stonehenge, by the way. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's like these rocks in this weird formation, this little frame looking formation, and there's more around that area. So, and whenever I think of Stonehenge, I think of like a place of my dreams, because I don't know if I've ever been there in a past lifetime or not, but it's similar to the places I've been in my lifetimes, where it's a very sacred earth. It's a very sacred place on earth, you know, because I forget what it is, and for those of you who know, you can let me know in the comments. It's on very specific coordinates that has to do with, is it the equinoxes or the solstice? But something along those lines. I feel like wherever you're going is sacred land, whether you're aware of it or not. And you're kind of meant to protect it, if that makes any sense, because you yourself are somebody who's going to be able to give it the respect it deserves. Pile 1. It's very interesting, especially if you are, for example, if you are of like native blood and you go somewhere where that land was historically or originally of that same native blood. That could be the case. Another thing I'm seeing is like maybe you're living on a national park territory, because I know people who work for national parks, at least in the US, they're given homes in that area, so they're able to better take care of the land, of the places. I read up on this because it was something that a former partner of mine thought about doing. So you could be called to something like that. Regardless, you're living with the land. You're no longer separate from the land. I feel like you yourself will be very, very enmeshed with it. I'm not saying that you're literally out there in the dirt every day, though that could be the case if that's what you like. But there's definitely a feeling that whatever energy you have, it's what that place needed. And yeah, I feel like it's weird because I'm seeing like guides, or I guess you could call them fairies or something like that, but I like to call them light beings, like guides, like, but they're earthy, like they kind of resemble trees, roots. Some of them just look like light, and they kind of come and guide you. Like whenever you're walking through this particular place, they're going to guide you to where exactly you need to go, and you'll have moments of peace and wisdom within this area, like especially when you go on walks or hikes. You're gonna feel very safe here. You're gonna feel like you're at home. It's very lovely energy, regardless of where this is in the world, regardless of what's going on. It'll be different for everybody depending on where you end up being, or where you live, or where you go, of course, but you're gonna feel very at one with this particular piece of planet Earth that you really have a connection with. But the best thing about this particular energy, I feel like the area itself is something you're really going to love, but the best part about this energy is that you're really growing up from it. Because like I said, chicken nuggets makes me think of children, but it also reminds me of, like, I don't know if you've ever met grown adult people who will only eat like chicken tenders or hamburgers. Like they for the life of them cannot stomach anything other more sophisticated than like a hamburger or a steak or something. You're gonna grow up from a certain aspect of yourself that you didn't realize you had to grow up from. I feel like you're really gonna mature in this very particular energy, and or you're gonna learn from it, because I'm thinking of a tadpole. A tadpole is a baby frog essentially, and frogs go through their own metamorphosis. It's not like butterflies, but I think it's like tadpole or pollywog, one of those two. I can't remember what the difference is, but then they become a frog. So yours is very much like this. You're basically transforming and you're getting out of that tadpole or polywog energy and becoming a frog, or caterpillar cocoon energy and becoming a butterfly, or caterpie and metapod energy becoming a butterfree. I just had to throw in the Pokemon reference in there. It's been a while since I've done a Pokemon reading. I think I need to do one soon. But regardless, maybe you came from one of those readings. I'm going to get the Astro Dice to see what else Spirit has to say. Well, what your future self has to say about this particular energy. Interesting. Pluto. Yeah, lots of... You're just going through a very different transformation. You may not recognize yourself as this person that is coming through pile 1, because I'm letting you know this person is very different from who you are right now, and that's okay. We have the 3rd house of communication. You're going to learn how to communicate a lot more, and if you do live off the grid, this could be for good reason. I feel like you're going to have to keep in touch with a lot of people, including the people that are close to you, including your children and partner, should you have any, and of course your family, because I feel like you will not be living anywhere near your family at this point, unless your family does the same thing you do, or you live on like family land, like a family farm or something like that. You're not really going to be keeping in touch, or you're not going to be, living around your family. You're going to be keeping in touch with them though. Another way to read this, especially next to Aquarius, it's weird. 3rd house energy sometimes gives me hometown vibes. So if you're currently not living in your hometown, you may decide, of all things, to go back to your hometown, which is very odd, especially like I said, if you have like ancestral roots in your hometown, if your blood comes from that same area that you are from, you're going to go back to that, because you're like you're a missing ingredient in what that place needs to thrive, or to evolve, or to just become more energetically healthy, if that makes any sense. In some cases, you could be bringing some kind of development to that area as well, especially if you yourself are a professional that can bring that to that area. Like I'm thinking of a doctor going back to their hometown and starting a practice there for the people there. But take that only if it resonates, of course. But something similar to that, I feel like you're really bringing something there. And then with Aquarius, I'm seeing ingenuity, innovation, but also detachment. It's like you're everybody's friend, but nobody's really close friend at the same time. You're definitely going to be a little bit of an oddball in your area, but I feel like you don't mind. I feel like some of you are okay in that energy. Another thing coming through, this is Pluto and Aquarius. So this is definitely going to happen during Pluto and Aquarius, and it just went back in earlier this year. This is 2024 when I'm filming and releasing this, so this is going to be within the next 20 years for sure. So the span of when this future self is communicating to you, it's anywhere from like, I'm hearing 2 years to 20 years. So take that if it resonates. I feel like within 20 years, this will be the energy you are in. It's definitely going to happen during Pluto and Aquarius. So check up on those dates, depending on when you're watching this. It is meant to be timeless, but at the same time, it is a future you reading. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot, because I'm really loving this energy. I'm using the Wild Unknown, and I'm being told to do my typical 5-card method pull, even though I've been doing a 3-card method. Alright, so for my pile 1, I keep wanting to say 4, but like there's no 4 piles in this reading, there's only 3. Okay, so for my pile 1, we have the Fool, yeah, new journey. We have the Star, we have the Devil. Lots of major arcana. Like I said, this is your soul's calling. This is a life purpose you're fulfilling, sorry. We have the Two of Wands with planning. We also have the Five of Swords, when some lose some, back of the deck energy, Father of Pentacles. You are the King of Pentacles here. This is the King of Pentacles. You are very much one with the earth. You could be an earth sign, of course, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, but you do not have to be. I feel like whenever you step into this energy, though, you will be embodying a lot of this type of energy, a lot of very earthly energy, or you'll be exhibiting those characteristics, because you do not have to have any earth placements within your chart to exhibit earth placements, if that makes any sense. For example, I have no air in my chart except my Aquarius North Node, but I come off as like a Gemini to a lot of people, especially with this channel, because I have to talk so much. That's because Mercury is in my first house. So look at what's in your first house as well, or look what will be transiting through your first house, or even fourth house whenever this happens. I feel like it's going to be an earth sign. But regardless, let's start with the Fool. Whenever I see the Fool on a journey, this is something that they didn't choose. I'm thinking of the hero's journey, of course, where the calling is the calling isn't something that the main character chooses, and you're the main character in this case, of course. And I feel like you're just gonna have to go with it, especially right next to the star. It's almost like you're following a sense of hope. You're following something that is better, because what you're leaving behind is this devil energy. Whatever energy you used to be in, pile one, was something that was actually more detrimental to you than you believe. It's something that was a lot unhealthier. There was something about either the people or the habits that you were being enabled to do within this energy, within this particular area, that you didn't realize were just awful for you. I feel like it's actually the environment, because sometimes we don't realize how awful the people around us are until we're taken away from them and we come back. But like it's like you wake up one day and you realize, wow, I'm surrounded by people who are just not that great, and I love them, but they're not that great. And like I said, they don't even have to be evil. They just, maybe they have a mindset that is nothing like yours. Like they might be very stuck in their ways, or they may have an aversion to change. I used to be surrounded by people who hated any small little kind of change. When I was in high school, every class I would end up being in, the people just hated change for some reason. And I never understood, because I love change. I embrace it. Like, do I have a hesitancy? Do I have a little bit of stubbornness? Yeah, but like, the more I embrace change, the more I like it. It's that kind of energy where, like, for whatever reason, you may not resonate with the people around you, but you're still surrounded by those kinds of people. So you have a soul's calling to somewhere out of this particular energy. With the Two of Wands, this is letting me know that somebody will be lending a hand, because I'm seeing you putting one wand and somebody else putting a wand here. Like I said, it could be through a partner that you're going off to this place, but I'm also seeing that you yourself may have been trying to manifest this for a while, but it was like a small manifestation. It was not at the top of your wishes to be fulfilled. Like, it would not be at the top of your goals for the year or something, but it ended up happening, I think, because you didn't put too much thought into it. Sometimes when we hold on too tightly to our dreams, we kind of allow them to slip away, because our muscles become so what's the word, tense from having to hold on, that we can't learn to let go and let it free. But here, it's like, because you set a small intention, it grew wilder and faster than you realize. So it's kind of going to come out of nowhere, especially with the Fool card over here. With the Five of Swords, I do like this energy. It's win some, lose some. So I feel like you're going to be looking at all the negativity at first. Like, you're going to be looking at all the reasons why you shouldn't go, or all the things you're going to miss about where you currently are. But what you're not seeing is, like, what you win is so much better. Or even if you do end up being optimistic about this, I feel like there's going to be some naysayers behind you saying, how could you abandon us? Why are you leaving us? It's that kind of energy where, like, nobody's happy, or like not everybody can be happy, if that makes any sense. That's what I'm getting with the Five of Swords. But you are going to be so grounded. You're going to be very confident as well, because any king's energy is usually very confident. But here it's going to be very earthy, and underneath that, Three of Wands, you're going to be able to really plan out a lot of amazing stuff in this particular environment. I feel like your creativity is going to go through the roof. And when I say creativity, it could be quite literally creative projects, but also your own fertility should you want children. Like I said, even if you don't want children, and if you are raising animals, that nurturing energy, that mothering, fathering, more mothering really, energy is coming through, where you're going to want to nurture and parent all these sweet little babies. Maybe some of you are becoming teachers as well. Maybe you're going somewhere where you're being called to be an educator, but to like smaller children. Children under the age of like 12 is what I'm seeing. So regardless, I feel like this area is going to be very, very lovely for you. What I am seeing though is that you should avoid falling back into your old bad habits, because I feel like they can be habits that are easy to fall back into, whatever those are, or those are people that you might easily call back into your life because you're seeking them out of comfort, not because you want them around, but out of comfort. So take that as it resonates. Like I said, this is something you'll have to watch out for, but everything else is so much more positive and practical that I have a hard time believing you'll want to go back to that. If you do call in people like that, again, it'll be for you to see the contrast of where you are now as opposed to where you used to be. For example, let's say you left all those people behind wherever you used to be, but then you encounter somebody who is very similar to that energy you left behind. And you're going to sit there and think, wow, I used to be surrounded by like dozens of people that thought just like you, and I don't know how I can put up with it anymore, because whatever this person is saying, it's just like draining you, bringing you down, making you think, no, that doesn't resonate with me. I used to, but like not anymore. It's that kind of energy. I really love this for you, pile 1. But let's move on to some closing advice, because I can tell there's more messages wanting to come through. We're gonna get a card from a goddess guidance oracle card. Some of you might be learning a new language, by the way. I'm not sure if it's a language that this area speaks, or it could be like a dying language of that area. For my pile 1, we have Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. What did I say? Some of you made a very small manifestation for this. And because you're not really thinking about it, or you didn't even realize that you made this manifestation, it's going to come through very easily. It's going to happen without you really having to do anything. I feel like somebody else is going to pave the way for this. It could be your employer. It could be a career opportunity that doesn't come along too often. It could also be a partner. Like it could be their workspace or maybe their hometown. Something about that. We're getting a card from the God. What is this called? The Cosmos Oracle deck. I keep saying God as well. Maybe some of you are going like on a church mission or something about religion is important here. Take that only if it resonates, of course. But we have a Cosmos Oracle card. The card you chose, I do have to censor it. The Peacekeeper, equilibrium, objectivity, and cooperation. Number 49. Some of you could be 49 when this happens, because I am sensing an older energy, of course. But something about you keeping the peace here, especially if you're like a very important role within that area that you are going to. But it also makes me think of somebody who like protects the land or the animals or something along those lines. But yeah, objectivity, cooperation, equilibrium. You're going to be in a much more clear mental space, because she's kind of giving me the Queen of Swords here with that feather. And then we're going to get some cards from the Cupid Says Oracle. And this is going to be your higher self sending you love messages or messages of encouragement. Let's go on an adventure. Yeah, I feel like this particular event that your future self is describing is an adventure in and of itself. I'm not sure how long you're going to last here. Some of you may only stay for like a few months, and then some of you are going to decide to make this your home. I feel like it's a decision you have to make, because you're going to be given the option whether you want to stay there or not. We have I do. Yeah, you're going to take that invitation. Also something about marriage here. If you are getting married to somebody who is from this area or has a job in this area, I feel like that's going to play a role. It's going to take time. It may be a while before this happens, or even settling in or finding a home here could be time consuming. You might end up living with other people or on other people's property is what I'm hearing. Because I'm seeing a lot of wide open space. Like wherever you're going, there's a lot of land. Or if not a lot of land, then like a lot of nature. So there's going to be plenty of space for you. Rise and rise again. I'm seeing you really enjoying your mornings here. Like you're going to look forward to waking up and starting your day at your own pace. Who am I? Yeah, I feel like I said, you're not going to recognize yourself when you look back. You're going to be like, wow, I've changed so much. I didn't realize this is who I could be. And then we have, sometimes it's about letting go. Yeah, you're going to be very happy that you let go of this past situation, of the past energy that you used to be in. I feel like in letting that go, you bring in a lot of good stuff for yourself. But this is where I leave you, my beautiful pile 1. If you felt drawn to this, or if any of this resonated, or if you would like to claim it, you can do so in the comments. And if you feel like doing so, you can like and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose this lovely smoky quartz point and the coffee card, then we have a reading here for you about your future self and any messages they want to get through to you. So we're going to start with the card you chose. We have number 4, the coffee. So some of you could really be into coffee. And whenever I get this card, I think of stimulation because I think of how coffee really energizes you and makes you focus. Basically, it stimulates your mind. At least it did to me when I drank coffee. I no longer drink coffee, but I do miss the smell and the taste. And maybe for some of you, whatever's coming through is an acquired taste as well. I am taking this to mean that it could be about 4 years from now, the messages that are coming through. So take that only if it resonates, of course. But let's look at your oracles to see what your future self has to say or what messages they have to convey. The card we got for you for the Lover's Oracle is this one, and it says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. We also have Cancer, homecoming. A welcome basket waits on a doorstep. Welcome yourself home. It may be that establishing, organizing, or moving your literal home is important to you right now, or it could be an emotional homecoming that you long to experience. Nestle into your literal or metaphorical haven of belonging. It's funny because there's something here about closeness, but also giving each other space as well as homecoming. And then we have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. I'm not going to lie, pile 2. I feel like this is a little bit of a love reading for you. So if you weren't looking for anything about concerning either love or relationships, I would advise you to go to any other pile. But if you still want to hear what wants to come through, by all means, you can stay. Because whenever I was looking at this coffee, I was thinking like of a coffee shop and a date. Whenever I think of stimulating the mind, I think of somebody who does this for you as well. Because I feel like you're somebody who doesn't really get into a relationship with anybody unless they stimulate your mind or your energy or something to that extent. I feel like you look for connections where you both just really vibe. Like you're not just going to get into a relationship with somebody because of the perks that they have to offer. You're going to get into a connection with somebody because they're literally your cup of coffee. They wake you up, whether that's metaphorically or maybe even literally in the morning. But also they just like awaken your senses. They fill you with a lot of great ideas. You can both have a conversation where you're both equally contributing and exchanging really great topics. Like it's not just that you're both talking, it's that you're both listening to each other and contributing to the conversation. There's something about reciprocity here that is very important. In fact, 4 years could be the time that you meet this person if you haven't already. But with the let there be closeness and give each other space, I think this is why I started with the Lover's card. I didn't do that in the previous pile. Because I think some of you are wondering if your future self has anything to say about the person you will end up with. And they're saying yes, make sure this person doesn't bore you. I feel like the person you're looking for is going to be on your level mentally. So especially if you're somebody who's used to kind of dating downwards when it comes to like the kind of intelligence they have, there's no shame in that. People don't really have to be smart in order to be, you know, a great partner. But I feel like you particularly, pile 2, you need somebody at your level. You need somebody at your intelligence level. So even if you've dated or had situationships with people who weren't quite there, you need somebody. Whoever you're going to settle down with, whoever you're going to commit to, whoever you're going to have children with, if should you want any, and of course marry should you want that as well, they're going to be at your level intellectually. Like I don't think either your level or higher, but I feel like it's really going to be your level, because even if it's a little bit higher, sometimes people take advantage of that or they tend to look down on you. But regardless, even if this person is intellectually higher above you, they're not going to look down on you because they're going to still appreciate the energy you bring to this connection. With homecoming, you will know who this is because you will feel very homey with them. You will feel at home in their own home is what I'm hearing. Not saying that you're moving in right away, but it's like pay attention to the energy you feel whenever you step into their apartment, home, house, room, whatever the situation is. How do you feel there? Because that's the energy that they typically embody. And if you're okay in that kind of energy, I feel like you'll be okay anywhere. So for example, I'm being told to show this example. I got into a relationship with somebody who in their previous home, it had a lot of repairs that had to go on, and it wasn't their fault. It just happened to have flooded, and you know there was stuff going on. So whenever I went to their place, it was an energy of being always in repair, essentially. When I eventually moved in with this person, my space, even though that's not typically the energy I embody, again, it was the same feeling of a place always being in repair. That was just the energy that this person had. So really pay attention to their surroundings, because those are the surroundings you are agreeing to live in. And this is especially true if you want to commit to this person. Pay attention to the kind of place they live in. Even though you both might want to live somewhere different or in a different place, the energy that they give is what you're going to have to end up putting up with, even if you bring other energy with you. But also maybe be aware of that. Make sure that the energy you are bringing is something that you can both live with, especially if you're like a very messy person. You might want to tidy up a little bit or get just a little bit more organized so that you can make room for people who want to come into your life. There's something about feng shui here at play, but I'm not that familiar with feng shui except on an energetic level. I understand how it works, so I will do the tweaks within my own home for the feng shui to happen. But mostly it's about the energy in an area, as well as the energy that people embody, that they leave in an area that is coming through here. Your future self wants you to take note of this because in the past they have not noticed this, and it ended up being the easiest indicator of being able to see a red or a green flag within a person that they wish they had known previously. I guess future you kind of lives with a lot of people. Well, maybe it doesn't live with a lot of people, but has lived with enough people to recognize this, or has been into enough people's homes to see this. Like it's true when they say your home is a reflection of yourself. Even if your home is something that is not permanent, that just means that you are not committed to wherever you are. I mean, think about it. Where you decide to reside says a lot about you, regardless of how much you want to believe that or not. I feel like I agree with your future self here. But yeah, and I feel like 4 years from now doesn't necessarily have to be the case either. It could be a little bit further depending on where you are. I just know that the number 4 is important here. With fall into my arms, surrender the opposites, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Some of you are really used to being in an energy of either or instead of being in an energy of like the in-between. There is nothing wrong with being in a gray area, if that makes any sense. There's something here about not putting labels on something until it's right to be put labels on. It's like, I work in a bakery, so this is the best example I could come up with. We're not going to start labeling the muffins if they're not in a package yet and if they're still warm and if they just came out of the oven, you know. If something just came out of the oven, there's no reason to put a label on it. It's not ready yet. So likewise, stop putting labels on your relationships before you're able to really figure out where they're going to go. Because I feel like some of you are kind of like that. You want things to move along rather quickly. Sorry, I'm letting this car pass by because I cannot hear myself channel when some of these cars go by. But some of you... Oh wow, can you... It's motorcyclists. And they're yelling at each other. Why are they talking to each other? They're motorcyclists. You can't hear... Anyway, don't start putting labels on relationships before you really get anywhere, you know? It's like, allow yourself to have a few first dates, or maybe wait a few weeks before you really decide to... before you decide to put labels on what your connection is with this person. Take your time. Your future self says they would rather wait it out a few more months to put a label on the connections they've had rather than to get into something that they know is not going to end up working out in the long run. Like, I feel like your future self is a little bit, I don't want to say they're frustrated, but I feel like they can tell that you are currently frustrated with dating and relationships, pile 2. Your person, well, not your person, your future self is kind of like, if I could go back and tell myself that all these things are just worth investing in, like all these little tricks are worth looking into in a person, they would. But with fall into my arms and surrender, what I'm hearing is that the person you end up falling for, you're gonna be very resistant to them at first. You're going to be resistant to them for good reason. I feel like in whatever energy you are in when you meet this person, there's still some tender spots, some soreness from a previous connection. Not literally. Like, I know what some of you are thinking. You're not literally going to meet this person or get into a relationship with this person right after you had, you know, relations with somebody else. Though maybe that is the case for some of you. I'm not judging, but there's going to be like I'm hearing a heart wound when you meet this person. So I feel like your future self is kind of saying you kind of had to go through a little bit of that heartbreak to really slow things down with the person you're going to end up being with. Because if you hadn't been a little bit traumatized, I'm not saying that you're going to be completely traumatized when you meet this person, but you will be a little cautious, you know, a little bit healthily suspicious. If you hadn't learned that from the previous person, you wouldn't take the slow steps that you needed for this, because there's an aspect of you, Pile 2, that really wants to rush into relationships for whatever reason. And I'm not judging you on that. I mean, you're allowed to. If you want to get into a relationship fast, you can. But I feel like this ended up burning you in the long run, or in a lot of cases, you missed a lot of red flags that you otherwise would have paid attention to, or you made excuses for the flags, you know? I feel like your future self is wanting you to know that how you fall for this person is gonna... something about their arms. So whether they're physically nice, or maybe you will quite literally be in their arms and realize that it's them, or even just the way they hold you, whether that's, again, physically or metaphorically. I'm hearing physically, they will hold you how you want to be held. There will be no it's not going to be awkward. You know, sometimes when people hold you, like their strength is a little bit much, or like their arms are just positioned weird, like they don't really know how to hug, or maybe your bodies are just odd. You will know it when you hold them, is what I'm hearing, or when they hold you, more accurately. The way your bodies are physically is just going to make sense, is also what I'm hearing. Another thing I'm hearing, though, is how they hold you in their mind and how they regard you, as well as like how they treat you. Something about respect here is at play. Something about respect and the prioritizing as well. They're going to make you a priority. You're not going to question whether they're like, you know how when sometimes somebody says that they're busy, but you don't know if they're really busy or if they're just making that up to, you know, not hurt your feelings. You will know because they're going to tell you when they are busy exactly what it is they're busy with. And when they can't make time for you, because this person will be busy, like quite literally, they will have stuff to do. They might be a business owner, or they could just have a high profile job or a very demanding job. This person will tell you exactly what's going on. This person's also very communicative, like I said, mentally stimulating and very smart for good reason. Smart people just know how to have better relationships, is what I'm hearing, at least from your future self's perspective. And because you are both this way, you're able to really work things out, even when things don't really work out. Because I feel like there will be moments when they can't always be there, or there are going to be, you know, times when just things don't seem to be going your way. But there's something here about the way this person makes it work for the both of you, or how they make up for it whenever it can't work out, that is going to let you know that they're the one. It's something very understated that you're not going to really recognize, especially currently. I feel like you wouldn't see this, especially if you're in that very overly cautious energy. But your future self is saying you will know, because you will start seeing it, and it's just going to be very obvious. But you're going to fall rather reluctantly for this person. Yeah. I'm hearing I'm hearing I Fall to Pieces. Is that I think Beyonce did a cover of that. Patsy Cline, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe that song is an indicator of something here for you, Pile 2. But let's move on to the tarot. I'm being told to pick 4 for you from the Wild Unknown. These are more messages from your future self, as well as like the journey there. That's what happened in the last pile. The journey to this particular point in your future that your future self wants you to let you know about. So, pile 2. Yeah, 2 of Cups. This is romance. Can I get an answer for whether this person knows this person yet or not? Whether pile 2 knows this person yet? Yes, you do. Ace of Wands. They are going to be very physically attracted to you as well. This could also be somebody that was initially just meant to be a distraction. Quite literally a physical distraction. Like you just wanted to hang out and have fun. All right. So let's get 3 more cards. Okay, yeah, because I summoned this one. We have the Emperor. Whoever this person is, they're going to be in masculine energy. They are going to approach you first. They're going to take the lead. Again, there's a reason it takes you some time to fall for them, this reluctance. It's not going to be a red flag. It's your own wounds. It's your own wounds making you a little bit colorblind, making you see everything as a red flag. So just take note of that. There's nothing wrong with that. And your future self is saying there's nothing wrong with the current wounds you have right now. Heal as you need to. Take your time to heal. This person will be understanding of that. We also have Judgment. Because it came out reversed, I'm wanting to say that, again, Judgment to me is a very solid decision. This solid decision is going to take some time. Let me go ahead and leave it reversed. I don't typically read reversals, but I feel like this is what it's saying. Your judgment, your final decision on this person will take time. I'm hearing years of having seen them in this energy. 10 of Cups. So yeah, emotional fulfillment is at play here. Notice how you feel when you're with them. And there's something about consistency here as well. Back of the deck, Son of Cups. This is the Knight of Cups. Like I said, this person will be approaching you. These two are indicators that, well, one, this person will be in their masculine energy, regardless of what their gender is. They will approach you first. They will let you know right off the bat how it is that they feel. They're going to be very forward with you. This is very strong Mars energy because we have what? Scorpio, Mars, Scorpio, and Aries. We have more fire here with the wands. This person is very direct, but also very romantic. They're going to be operating from a very emotional place. They're going to make it a point to get to know you before. And for some of you, you might hook up first, or you might just make it very physical. You might start off making this a physical connection. That's how you both come in, like, hey, I'm not looking for anything, but I am interested in dating and having fun and all that. So there's nothing wrong with that. Again, because you are in a wounded space when you meet this person, you're not going to really want to progress this, but you're going to see the signs of this person, one, being in their Emperor energy. If you are in your Empress energy, you're looking for your Emperor. So essentially, you're both going to be operating more so them in their Emperor energy. It's going to take you a minute to get back into your Empress energy, pile 2. 2, we're looking for emotional fulfillment. And this is, how do you feel? When ish hits the fan is what I'm hearing. When it gets bad, how do they handle it? Look at that the most. How do they handle problems? How do they handle when they're at rock bottom? Because you will see moments of this within them, or you will see them try to figure out a certain problem. See how they handle that, because that's going to give you an indicator of how they are, how they're going to handle your problems as well as a couple. But this person, I feel like they've liked you for some time. Because when I see the Knight of Cups, I see somebody who kind of holds a torch. And quite literally, here's the torch, the Ace of Wands. Who has been holding a torch for you for some time. Ooh, yeah. 7 of Wands. This is one of those connections where either... I feel like it's more your person, though. Because I feel like I'm reading a lot about them. A lot of people are going to call them out on the fact that they're so into you. Or they may even tell you about it too. Like, this is going to be a rather public relationship. Not because you both are making it public, but because you both draw a lot of attention. You look great as a couple. It's quite obvious that you both really like each other. But there's something here about they're going to... Either you or your person are going to find out or figure out that you're really meant for each other, because somebody, like a third party, like somebody, like a common friend or somebody that just knows the both of you is going to say something. Like, I'm hearing, I've never seen you as happy as you've been with this person. Or I don't really see you smile as much as whenever you're around this person. Something about those lines. So if you have people who care about you and who mean well, of course, who have these kinds of things to tell you or to say to you, that say these kinds of things to you, really listen. Really listen to what they're saying. Because I feel like the both of you are going to be in a weird space where you don't really want to progress this forward, but at the same time, you don't want to let each other go. More so you, pile 2. This person, I feel like, will have made up their mind by then. They will have decided that you're the one. And you're kind of still you're still hesitant. But regardless, let's move on to some closing advice. And like I said, if you weren't here for a romantic reading, by all means, we do have 2 other piles to choose from. I don't intend for that to happen, by the way, pile 2. So we're gonna get a card from the Goddess Guidance deck for you. We have Bossed, Independent. Your independence is a foundation of for your strength and success. This person is going to like that you're independent, but also the proper connection for you, pile 2, will allow you to be independent. It will allow you to be your own person. You're not going to be eaten up by this person's life. This person will not keep you away from everybody, because I've seen that where partners sometimes just want, especially if you're a woman, like the partner will want this person to stay at home all day and not be seen by anybody because you're too beautiful or too successful. No, this person wants you to be seen. This person wants you to succeed. They will be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest supporter. And likewise, I feel like you'll do the same for them. I feel like you two really just like to gas each other up in this connection. I'm also getting a Cosmos Oracle deck card. That's a lot of cards. I feel like 3 wanted to come out. Okay, here we go. We have oneness number 11. I like this because what I'm seeing is you being very connected. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but both of these ladies have like similar hair, like very wild and thick hair, which I love. So, but regardless, I feel like you're going to be in an energy of being fully connected to your divine guidance. You may ask divine guidance a lot about this particular connection as well. With number 11, I am seeing, to me, that's a whatchamacallit. It's a number of partnerships because 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 is, of course, a number of partnerships. But I'm also thinking of 1111. You're going to mirror a lot of things within each other. Self-realization, faith, and conduit. So I feel like this person just allows you to really get to know yourself a little bit more. They're going to unleash a side of you that you don't typically see. They're going to definitely nurture the independence within you, but they're also going to bring out something within you that makes you feel... And I hate saying this because you are already a whole person, pile 2, but they're going to make you feel a little bit more complete. I feel like, yeah, because I'm hearing they bring out something in you that you really needed, that not a lot of people get to see, or that not a lot of people are able to bring out within you. And you yourself may be able to do this after some time of spending, after spending so much time with this person, because you'll recognize what that energy is. For example, if they allow you to be in your heart chakra space for a lot more, like either very strongly or for a longer period of time, you will eventually learn how to operate from your heart chakra space. Because I'm really feeling a lot of love from this person. Like I feel it all over the heart chakra. It's very beautiful. This could also be your future self showing you this energy. I feel like your future self is allowing you to understand that you're going to be feeling this heart chakra energy when this happens. A lot of self-love. And then we have the Cupid Says Oracle. This is meant to be messages from your higher self, your future self. Some of them could be from your person as well, but mostly I'm going to take these from your future self. So pile 2's future self comes through. We have, it starts from you. It starts from you because you decide that you're ready for a connection, is what I'm hearing. So even though this person may show interest first, and they may be the first to approach you, and they may be very direct, it's not going to go through until you say so. So it's like you're both coming together to do this. Pile 2. That's another message coming through. The one that got away. You're really lingering on past energy here from whoever this is. Like whoever your past person is, you're still thinking about them or healing from them. For some of you, you're going to think they're the one that got away. And then this person comes through. This person is going to show you there's a reason they had to get away. Don't give up on us. Oh my God. Yeah, like I said, it's going to take you some time to decide whether this person is for you or not. We also have, this is not a phase. Yeah, I feel like some of you, you're going to think you're going to get over this person, or that they're going to end up, you know, just being temporary, but nah, they're gonna really show up. No more secrets. If this person has been keeping secrets from you, they're not going to do that anymore. You're going to see a side to them where you realize that the secrets they've had to hold, or any mask they've had to wear, were for something else entirely. And they're just going to get tired of having to do that with you, because you bring out a very honest energy within them. Like I said, that sense of homecoming, they feel very at home with you. I also have I trust you. Yeah, they trust you. They're gonna have no more secrets with you because they're gonna learn how to trust you, or they already do trust you. I feel like they're gonna trust you from the get-go, but they're gonna attempt to be more secretive. Back of the deck, this was meant to be. It's very lovely energy, pile pile 2. And I feel like some of these messages were from your person's higher self as well as your future self, but I feel like this is what you needed to hear right now. But regardless, thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you would like to claim any of this energy, you can do so in the comments. And if you feel like doing so, you can like and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. I should let you know the time on the clock is like 5:55 when I'm recording this, when I'm starting to record this. So let that be one of your angel numbers, or if the number 5 is important to you, then by all means, you can go ahead and take that. But we have a reading here for you from your future self, any messages they want to let you know, or a very specific topic they would like to let you know about. The past 2 piles have been very specific topics. So if this one doesn't resonate with you, you can go back to those to see if they have something for you. But here we have number 14, the taco. The song I was hearing before I started tapping into this energy was He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. So yeah, this is kind of giving me the world card energy, where you're really just holding everything you could ever possibly love and want within your hands. And in this case, it's in the shape of a taco, because, you know, tacos are pretty great. But let's go ahead and move on to your oracles to see what your future self has to say here. We have embrace. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. Yeah, I feel like you're going to find some aspect of yourself that you were looking for in the future. And this is going to end up leading to the sense of completion. I don't feel like this is somebody else, though. This is all within you. Somebody else could help with allowing you to feel this energy, or allowing you to find this missing piece. But it's all going to come from you. We also have Taurus spirit, ease. An afternoon spent resting and reclining. Know when to take a step back. Your body, mind, and spirit may need some time to restore. Is there a situation in your life that might ease if you reduce the pressure and practice more acceptance? I almost read that as acupuncture. Maybe some of you will be getting into acupuncture in the future. Or maybe you yourself are an acupuncturist, pile 3. If so, let me know, because I do want me some acupuncture. We have Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. Lots of earth energy coming through. It's funny, because when I think of tacos, I think of a very down-to-earth food. It's like the most common, cheap, easy street food for me. But I mean, I am Mexican, and my grandfather actually had a taco stand when I was younger, when he was alive. So to me, it's very earthy, because he himself was a Capricorn, which makes sense, because Capricorns prefer to have their own businesses. But Mexican food in general to me is a combination of like fire and earth, because it's all very simple food, but also a little spicy. But regardless, we also have the Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So some of you are learning to find completion with your human self, is what I'm hearing. Because whenever I see earth energy, or at least how I've been taking it recently, is being at peace with the fact that you are human. Especially for those of you who feel that you are not really meant to be human, or you kind of wish that the mothership would come and take you away because you don't like living an earthling kind of energy. Some of you are becoming so much more comfortable either within your own body, with your own life, with the area around you. I feel like just within your body, you're feeling more whole. Excuse me. Yeah, some of you are going to have a hard time accepting this too, because I felt that in my throat chakra, especially if you're hearing this now and saying, yeah, right, whatever. Your future self is going to be very happy with the person they are, regardless of what they look like, regardless of how old you are in this particular timeline. You're going to be feeling happy with life. And because you're happy, you're going to be able to look at the person in the mirror and be happy with whatever it is that they see in that particular mirror at that time. I feel like in the past you operated from an energy of anger, especially if you have a very Mars dominant kind of chart like I do. But something about softening to love here lets me know that you cut off ties that were preventing you from feeling love for yourself. This could have come from a group of friends that just were not the best for you, especially if you come from a social circle. This is going to bother me. Especially if you come from a social circle where like they were very superficial or overly occupied with physical appearance. I feel like, believe it or not, having to focus so much on your physical appearance led to some sort of anger. I feel like it led to frustration because you were not happy with what you saw in the mirror, or you just kind of wish that you could afford to look different, whether that was through buying more clothes or flattering clothes, or maybe more expensive things, or maybe just off being able to afford a cosmetic surgery so that you could look a certain way. I feel like that fed an anger that was actually self-hate or a lack of self-acceptance here. And what I'm seeing is that what your future self is wanting me to indicate is that with Earth School, you're embracing an energy of like the soul. You're learning how to tap into your soul and see that you chose this body for a reason. You chose the experiences you went through for a reason. It's like you're tapping into your soul's contract, you're tapping into your soul, and in some case maybe even your life purpose, because I really see you just meditating and like literally diving into your very heart, kind of like this image here, because I know that this person is diving from, I guess, space into more space, or I don't know. It's lovely, but here it's like I'm feeling you literally tap into the heart space, and you're finding a sense of comfort there, finding a sense of being comfortable in your own skin, in your own body, regardless of what you look like. You're no longer meeting societal standards of beauty, even the ones that you see on social media. Because let's face it, our standards of beauty are no longer whatever the magazines or whatever the runway has to show. Now it's other people just like us on social media. And even though we are celebrating more diverse beauties, I feel like it's still a beauty standard that is being upheld, if that makes any sense. And in some cases, some of you could go through a social media purge where you decide to just not be on, you know, any platform that focuses too much on physical appearance, especially things like TikTok or Instagram, because I feel like that's where I see the most quote quote physically attractive people. But there's going to be a feeling here that you're really just learning to tap into your own self-love, and I feel like that self-love is so transformational. So I'm not sure if you're doing, like I said earlier, acupuncture, and I'm not sure if acupuncture can help with this. I've never had acupuncture. I know it does work with energy. It's a form of energy healing, but I've never actually had one. But it could also be Reiki. It could also be just energy healing in general, energy work. I feel like some of you are going to learn to just feel comfortable in your skin and really love the person you see in the mirror. That's the biggest thing. Another way to take this is to just be happy with the things you have in life. There's a big feeling of acceptance here, and your future self wants you to feel this or wants you to know this, because some of you are kind of frustrated and angry at both yourself and at life. And maybe you're taking this anger out on other people, unfortunately. So I feel like, and by taking it out on other people, I mostly mean verbally, like maybe you explode or you get angry or you cry. People show their anger in different ways. I'm not saying this physically, obviously. I'm not tapping into that energy. Or if it is physical, it's probably going to be at the gym or something like that. Like you may be somebody who works out excessively. I know, because I used to do that, and I didn't realize how bad of a habit it was until I really looked back and thought it probably wasn't that healthy to exercise as much as I did, like literally right after I ate. It's that kind of feeling. So that's all I'll go into, because I don't want to bring up any triggers in anybody. But you're really learning to be comfortable with the person you are, with everything that you look like, with your own body, as well as your own emotions. I feel like this anger, at one point you live in it. And then you start seeing, okay, I really need to tame this anger because it's clearly not good. But then you kind of repel and fear it to the point that where you don't feel any anger. And to a lot of people, that may seem like an okay thing, but you have to express your anger somehow. I've always been told this by energy healers, and I myself didn't really get it until I saw it myself in other people. People who don't express anger are actually the angriest. They have the angriest energy because they don't have a healthy outlet for it. So this outlet, like I said, for most people, it's going to be like working out or the gym. It could also be something like, I'm trying to think of something good, like, why am I being shown? So they have places, at least in the US, where you can throw axes in a room, and you could just, release anger that way by axe throwing. I know that's kind of weird. They also have shooting ranges here, but I don't like to talk about those. That's another way to release that kind of energy. But I feel like you're going to find a way to healthily manage your anger here, or be able to embrace it, acknowledge it, and let it go. And that's going to be part of being able to accept yourself, because you have to balance out the negative and the positive energies within you. That could be another thing that you're learning to do. And that's another reason why you're so comfortable in your own body. It's literally like your soul and your body are embracing here. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. This is you just embracing the fact, again, that you're a human person in a human body having a human experience. And being okay with that. I am going to read from the book, The Audacity Deck for the Taco, because I don't think I've ever had this card pop up before. So I've never really looked into it. But me being Mexican-American, I think I know everything about tacos. Well, no, it's probably more my grandfather's guide coming through telling me that I think I know everything about tacos. But anyway, the glorious, perfectly encapsulated food. Meat, cheese, sour cream, and extra guac. By the way, Mexicans don't put all that on their tacos. All we do is like meat of choice and either salsa, cilantro, and onion. That's all we do. Or at least that's how my grandfather did it. But regardless, everything you need in the palm of your hand. Your message: not all things that fall apart are broken. You may be stuck in a mess, but this isn't the end. Scoop up the pieces and remember that your routine doesn't define you. You can always change direction. You are a work of art. Yeah, so especially if you're feeling stuck, you're also going to learn how to work with the energy that is being presented here for you. But oddly enough, I feel like you're also going to be okay with being stuck. Not that you're going to stay stuck. It's more like you're going to understand, okay, if life is slowing down, maybe I should slow down with it and really see what it is that I need to see. It's like, you know how when you're stuck in traffic, you can either stay mad and sit in it stewing in anger, or you can turn on the radio, listen to your favorite music, or put on a podcast. I personally put on music that I can dance to, so I'm just sitting in traffic dancing, being happy until, you know, it's my time to finally move the car. It's that kind of energy where you're learning to be comfortable wherever it is that you are, and realize that if you're stuck or for whatever reason you can't move forward, you're going to sit there and smell the roses. Why not? Clearly, there's something that you have to see. That's just part of the ways that you are able to be more comfortable in your skin and embrace this beautiful life that you have been given, pile 3. So let's move on to the tarot. Because even just saying that being stuck made me want to go ahead and shift the energy. This is going to be more messages from your future self. But your future self is very chill. I don't know where you are currently, pile 3, but your future self is a very chill, loving person. But I can tell that you were not always that way, because I saw that Mars card and I was like, I understand. So we got, I'm hearing 5 cards for you. Okay, we have Page of Wands. This is that impatience. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Working with your body is what I'm hearing. Working with yourself. Also working with your higher self for some of you. We're seeing the King of Swords here, tapping into... It's odd that intuition is coming through in the Father and the King of Swords here. Mostly with this owl, because owls are very wise. I feel like some of you are going to become wiser than your years. Or you already are very wise, but you don't always listen to yourself. Which, you know, same. We have the 3 of Swords. Learning to work with heartache to better your situation is what I'm hearing. And Knight of Pentacles. Again, slowing down. Something about slowing down is very important here, or being comfortable with the fact that things will slow down, especially during a Mercury retrograde, which makes sense because I'm currently filming this during a Mercury retrograde. Back of the deck energy, Temperance. Learning to focus energy where it needs to go. So it's interesting because I've always seen Temperance as a balance card, but where we typically see balance as 2 things being very equal, weighing the same, Temperance is asking you to direct energy where it needs to go, because that's probably where it needs to go more. Like the example I like to show is whenever you have 2 kids, clearly the younger kid is always going to need more attention. So that's Temperance at work. You're giving the younger kid more attention because, you know, an infant is going to need more attention than a 6-year-old. It's that kind of energy. Is it always fair? No, but you know that it will eventually even itself out, because at one point that 6-year-old had all your attention. So now this other child has your attention. So that's the example I'm being shown. So you're really learning how to work with the cycles and the seasons of life is what I'm hearing. Also, maybe your own cycle. If you have a menstrual cycle, I feel like you're going to learn that certain weeks are going to be better for you to really get a lot of stuff done. And other weeks are going to be better for you to just chill, hang back, and allow life to just be. And if you have a menstrual cycle, you understand. You could also be working with the moon cycles. And I've noticed this whenever it's a full moon or we're leading up to a full moon, a waxing moon, we become more energetic. And whenever it's a waning moon leading to a new moon, we become less, we become a little bit more mellow. And this is true. I feel like if you find studies on full moons, more crazy activity happens during a full moon because there's just more energy to go around. I've noticed this working in retail. The places will always have more people during a full moon, even if it's not a holiday. Especially if it's not a holiday, I think it's more noticeable. There'll be more things going on during a full moon than if it was a new moon. New moon, you don't typically see a lot of people. I feel like you could also track sales this way. So for those of you who are in business and you kind of want something to do with this, take note of that. Do your ad campaign in a waxing moon. See if that helps in any way. I don't do this, but I feel like that'd be good advice. I would definitely test it out. But like I said, so we're starting over here with the Page of Wands. You're learning to curb this impatience that you have is what I'm hearing. Because some of that anger could also be seen as impatience. Some of you might be in Aries. Because I'm seeing all this Mars and impatience. I'm like, is this an Aries person? I'm currently filming this during Aries, of all things, Aries Mercury retrograde. So maybe this is you. You're really learning to work with impatience. With the Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles is usually collaboration and work, but here I'm seeing a collaboration of you, your spirit, your soul, your spirit and soul are the same thing, and the outside energy. I'm quite literally hearing, like, if you grew up Catholic, or if you are Catholic, you probably understand the Holy Trinity. It's that kind of thing, but it's your own Holy Trinity, if that makes sense. And it starts with you, your physical body, your higher self, and the universe is what I'm hearing. So that would be like a way of looking at it. This is what you are working with, the energies you're working with the King of Swords. You're going to get a lot of new ideas, and the times that you slow down is when you get a lot more creative. It's when you get a lot more new genius insights into how to move forward, into how to better, again, develop your business, like that one thing I was just talking about with the moon cycles. It could also be a way where you really brainstorm a lot of great things, because I feel like for a lot of you, you might have a hard time coming up with ideas or finding like the creative juices, if you will, or coming up with good connections, because I feel like some of you will actually meet people better when you finally learn to be more patient. For example, again, if we're talking about waiting in line, you might meet really good people by chatting them up in conversation, like very casual conversation. You might end up meeting somebody who maybe has a business that you really need. Like maybe if you're in line at a grocery store, you might meet like a lawn care service person, and they'll give you their number and everything, and you just happen to realize that they're in your area. It's that kind of energy. So something about being social in a very mysteriously guided way is what I'm seeing. With the Three of Swords, you're learning to cope with heartbreak, because look at these two cards right next to it. The King of Swords is somebody who is able to reason everything out. So they're able to see the positive and negative in everything, and they're also able to think their way out of sticky situations. And the Knight of Pentacles lets me know that even though you may allow yourself to stay long enough within this heartbreak to process it in a very proper way, because when we move on from heartbreak, it can be a little bit, if you move on too quickly, it can come back to bite us, you know, and if we move on too slowly, well, then you get a little depressed. But the Knight of Pentacles here lets me know that you're going to stare heartbreak in the face and be like, okay, what do I need to process here? I'll take however long it takes to get rid of this, because I know I need to learn from this. You're learning to learn from your mistakes, or learning to learn from your downfalls, pile 3. And I feel like this is really amazing energy. Like, I'm seeing a very optimistic person, as to where in the past you used to just see the negative in everything. Now it's like you're learning to connect with source, with your intelligence, higher being. For some of you, I'm hearing higher intelligence for some reason. Is that another way to call source? I guess. But yeah, you're learning how to better just handle the human experience. And I feel like that's very beautiful. Like I said, directing energy to where it needs to go is going to help you out here. Underneath that, the Hermit. You could be a little bit isolated during this period, but I feel like that's okay. I was getting that from the oracles as well, because when you need to listen to your body, you have to be alone. Otherwise, it's going to distract you. But yeah, I really love this energy. I love the person you're becoming, pile 3, and I'm very proud of you. Your future self is also very proud of you. But let's move on to some closing advice. By the way, this whole chat felt like I was talking to a friend, so I'm not sure if people that I know are watching this particular pile. If so, hello. Leave a comment and I will give you love in person, of course. or more directly, I guess. We have a card from the Goddess Guidance Oracle. Damara, guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. Some of you might be educators. You could work in the school system, but also it's almost like treating yourself as a child. You're learning to gentle parent yourself or reparent yourself. I've heard that term before, where you just go back to your inner child. You go back to your past child self and give them all the love that you couldn't give them back then, or that the love that somebody at that time couldn't give you. I have a hard time saying that out loud. So maybe some of you really need to look back at like your past and accept that there's a lot of inner healing to do about your inner child, pile 3. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm having a hard time saying it. Like I'm literally trying to say it and my mouth closes up. It's not my throat, it's my mouth. It's weird. But we're doing some inner child healing. Look back to your past and see where you could give yourself a lot more love there. I like to do this by meditating, envisioning myself at a certain age, and just telling that person, that little girl, that I love her so much, even if the people around her aren't showing that to her, that she is so loved. Yeah, and I'm getting very, very teary-eyed just thinking about that. So do that in your own time, of course, pile 3. Out of all the piles, this has been the most intense and loving energy. I'm going to get a card from the Cosmos Oracle. Ooh, I like this energy. We have this student. She's holding a book right there. Curiosity, flexibility, and eloquence. I'm seeing this as you really learning how to better handle yourself, if that makes any sense. Like, you know how when you get into a relationship, you have to learn how to handle a person, or anytime you meet somebody, you have to learn how to handle them. This is you with yourself. This is a relationship with yourself that you are finally acknowledging and seeing. And you're learning to better handle yourself. You're learning all about yourself. With this student, you could also be learning something else, of course. You could be going back to school, maybe for some sort of trade or some sort of skill. But mostly, we're talking about the spiritual here as well. And then we have some cards from the Cupid Says Oracle. This is going to be from your higher self and future self. Ask and you shall receive. We're learning to manifest here. I support your decision no matter what. Heal yourself first. Oh, I love this. Yeah, we're doing a lot of healing here. Your future self is letting you know that the amount of healing you're going to do between now and that very particular point in time is going to be so invaluable. Like, they're saying that if you ask for something, you will receive it. Particularly when it comes to opportunities, I'm hearing. Some of you just need to ask and it'll show up. If not directly to somebody, ask it to the universe. Say it out loud. Write it down. Like, make it known to the world that there is something that you want and that it will slowly but surely show itself. Don't go back. Some of you might be tempted to go back into an energy of like anger or operating in a lower vibration or something like that. This is your future self saying that you do from time to time. So make sure that you're staying in a good space, because it'll be very easy to want to fall back into old habits. What do you want from me? This is your future self asking you to ask yourself. This is your future self saying, ask yourself what you want out of life. Because some of you might have a little bit of either misguidance or misdirection. Like, you might have an idea, but you're not exactly sure where to go. Back at the deck energy. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. What's underneath that? I know it's love, but if you're looking for a sign, this is it. Yeah, you have a lot of support from the universe, including your future self, pile 3. So if you ever have any doubts about whether there's anybody out there who cares, I'm letting you know yes, because at the very least your future self does. As does the universe, as do your guides, as do your ancestors, because I did speak quite a bit about my grandfather in this video. A lot of people care about you. Always think about yourself first. It's like, make sure you're in a good space, because people love to see you in a good space, pile 3. And your future self is letting you know this, because for some of you, you may not have always thought that way. But yeah, people support your decisions, no matter how tough those decisions are. if they see they're good decisions and they're coming from the heart, they're going to support them. So don't go back to the old ways, because I think old you would have thought that you were completely alone, but the truth is you're not. But this is where I leave you, my beautiful pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you resonate with any of this, or even if you would like to claim it, you can do so in the comments. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care.